Hello, I've heard you've got some questions for me, so yeah, let's jump right in and do this thing. Right, so first question is from Pitch Called Black, and he asks, what is your most wanted Doctor Who book? Which would you rather have the chance to meet, William Hartnell or John Pertwee? Signed item by Hartnell or Pertwee. If you had if you had to marry Nardole for a whole 6 months for a very missing episode to be returned, would you do it? So to answer the first question first, what is your most wanted Doctor Who book? I think my most wanted Doctor Who book is probably Lungbarrow, because as you know, I'm a big fan of the Virgin New Adventures, so to be able to read Lungbarrow, and there are very few people that have it, I think that would be a real joy to read, because there's so many interesting things in that. Like the Doctor's origins, even though it's not canon, it would be nice to sort of read a bit more about what could have been the Cartmel master plan. So yeah, that would be nice to read. The second question is, which would you rather have the chance to meet, William Hartnell or John Pertwee? Now, of course, William Hartnell is the original, and that would be really cool to see William Hartnell. But I think because John Pertwee is my favourite Doctor, I think it would probably have to be John Pertwee. So yeah, John Pertwee for that one. And as for the signed item, it would probably be William Hartnell, because it would probably be worth more. It would be nice to have a John Pertwee one, but I think a William Hartnell signed item would be just an absolutely fantastic thing to have in your collection, I think. Yeah, that would be really, really good. And the final question is, if you had to marry Nardole for a whole 6 months for a very missing episode to be returned, would you do it? Depends what the missing episode is. If it was for Evil of the Daleks, then yes, I would. I would marry Nardole for a whole 6 months. So yeah, very weird question, that one. Okay, the next set of questions come from Dalek Human, and he asks, what is the best Dalek story in your opinion? What is your least favourite companion in Doctor Who? And what do you think was the saddest scene in Doctor Who? So, the first question, what is the best Dalek story for me? For me personally, it's The Evil of the Daleks. I think it's such a good story. A lot of people say it's overrated and they prefer Power of the Daleks, but personally I think Evil of the Daleks is the king of Dalek stories, and that's just my opinion. But because I've listened to that audio hundreds and hundreds of times, and every time I listen to it I just don't get bored, and now I've got the reconstruction, I'm going to watch it as many times as I can, really. So the next question he asks is, what is your least favourite companion in Doctor Who? My least favourite companion in Doctor Who is Melanie Bush. In the TV show she's incredibly annoying, but they've done a really good job with her in Big Finish. So if you haven't listened to any Mel with Big Finish, then I highly recommend that you do, because she's great in it. And what do you think was the saddest scene in Doctor Who? For me personally, I would say the Third Doctor's regeneration. Even though the special effects for it are crap, it's probably the worst regeneration. I would say the scenes building up to that is just really heartbreaking, and I'd say my second saddest moment in Doctor Who is Christopher Eccleston regenerating into David Tennant, because the music and the way it's shot in the acting, it just every time I watch it, it nearly makes me cry. And Christopher Eccleston was my Doctor, and just to watch it, again and again is like it's a bit like torture, really, because it's like I don't want him to go, but he left, and oh yeah, just really sad, because I didn't actually watch it when it first broadcast, but every time I watch it on the DVD it still makes me really upset that he's gone, which is sad, because I think Christopher Eccleston was a brilliant Doctor, and every time I watch that it just makes my heart, it just makes my heart break. As cringy as that sounds, it's true. It just makes me feel really sad and depressed, because my favourite Doctor of the new series only had one series, and yeah, it's just really annoying, I think. He didn't come back for more, but hey ho, what can you do? Okay, so the next question comes from Sparky Gerbil, and he asks, favourite Cyberman story, favourite Doctor Who writer, best regeneration, and finally what came first, the chicken or the egg? Right, so yeah, pardon me, nearly had a throat spasm there. So favourite Cyberman story would be, oh god, that's a really hard question. Just having a look at them now. I think my favourite Cyberman story would probably either be the Moon Base or the Tomb of the Cybermen, because they are some brilliant. Oh, the Invasion actually, although they are overshadowed a little bit by the main villain. But I think probably Tomb of the Cybermen. I think that's such a good story, slightly overrated, but a very good story. And the best Doctor Who writer is probably Robert Holmes, because he's written some of the absolute best of stories, and Don Houghton's pretty good as well. But I'd probably say Robert Holmes, because he's just the king of Doctor Who writers, I think. And best regeneration, I sort of talked about this in the previous question, and yeah, I think Christopher Eccleston's regeneration is, I mean, that was the second saddest, but the best regeneration is the Ninth Doctor's, for me anyway. I think it's really well done. I love the special effects for it. I love everything about it, the way it's shot, the way it's written, the way it's acted. It's just heartbreaking, I think. And then his final question is, what came first, the chicken or the egg? I think, I don't know, maybe the egg? Or no, the chicken. Or the egg. I can't remember, I don't know, I have no idea. I'll have to research that. So the next question comes from TARDIS Traveller, and he asks, fave DVD release and cover, and like, what's your favourite cover design? I think my favourite DVD release is probably, it might be the Ark in Space, because there's a really special edition, because I love the special feature, the Doctor Forever feature on all the books that have been released, and it just gives a really good insight to the Virgin New Adventures and all the other kind of books that were available during the wilderness years and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think for me that was probably one of the best releases of 2013, and overall. As for my favourite DVD cover, I'd say possibly the Inferno cover, or maybe even the Green Death cover, or the Aztecs, or actually no, the Daleks, the first Dalek story, William Hartnell. I think that cover is so cool. So yeah, I think the Daleks cover design is amazing. My favourite figure is, oh god, I mean, I don't really buy that many figures, so I can't really say, but I think probably, I don't know, because I only bought the new series ones and then I stopped buying them. Maybe the K9 figure, I don't know. Or actually no, the Cult of Skaro collector set thing. That was, I remember getting that, and that was a really cool set to have. And then finally, Madame, what year is this? I have no idea. Okay, so the next set of questions come from Michael Friend, and he asks, what do you prefer, Classic Who or New Who, and favourite era of the show? Okay, so my favourite, well, I prefer the classic series, but I mean, I like the whole thing. Sometimes people class it as one thing, there are people that class it as two separate entities, but for me, personally, I prefer the classic series because there's so much better storytelling, I think, and some of the acting is a lot better as well. But I think my favourite era of the show is probably going to be the 1970s, because I think, in my opinion, that was the golden era of Doctor Who, because you've got John Pertwee and then you've got Tom Baker, and it's probably when the show was at its height. And yeah, I think the 70s, there's not well, especially the John Pertwee era, think there's a single story which I consider bad, because even though there are a couple of duff ones like the mutants and that kind of stuff, but they're not bad stories, they're just not as good as some of the others, and I think that's the thing with a few of the Jon Pertwee stories, but 95% of them are absolutely amazing, and I love all the stories in that era pretty much. So yeah, thank you for that question. That was quite an interesting question to answer. Okay, the next one comes from Ollie Cowley, and he asks, favourite Big Finish and any upcoming conventions? Okay, so my favourite Big Finish audio is Terra Firma, which features the 8th Doctor as played by Paul McGann. And any upcoming conventions? Well, no, not really. I was thinking about going to London Comic Con, but I didn't really have enough money. Well, I've been trying to save up for a holiday in August, so I haven't really had a chance to save up for London Comic Con. So yeah, not really any conventions, I'm afraid. Maybe next year or the end of the year, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see how much money I've got and if anything does happen. So yeah, sadly I can't really answer your question to the upcoming conventions. Okay, so the final set of questions come from OJWH, and he asks, what Doctor Who story has your opinion on changed most over time? Okay, I can answer this one straight away, because there's a story, a Jon Pertwee story, that I wasn't particularly fond of, and that was Doctor Who and the Silurians. And when I was doing a bit of a season 7 marathon last year, I rewatched it and I absolutely loved it. I think it's a great story, and I'm not sure why I didn't like it when I first watched it, but yeah, having rewatched it again, I absolutely love that story. I think it's one of the best Jon Pertwees, and season 7 is just an absolutely brilliant season for me, and I love every story from it. And so yeah, thanks for all your questions. I hope I gave some decent answers to them, and yeah, hopefully we'll do another Q&A maybe in the next sort of 3 months or 3 or 4 months, depending on if I get any more subscribers. And so yeah, thank you for watching, and goodbye.